Hi, ihr seht und hört einen Podcast von Future of Festivals, dem Branchentreffen für alle VeranstalterInnen, DienstleisterInnen, EntscheiderInnen und Auszubildende aus dem Festivalbereich. Unsere nächste Veranstaltung findet vom Mittwoch, dem 25. bis Donnerstag, dem 26. November 2026 in der Station Berlin statt. Kommt vorbei, wir freuen uns auf euch, aber jetzt erstmal viel Spaß mit der Aufnahme.
Welcome everyone. Let's start with a quick assumption test. And don't be shy and you can raise your hand. But who in this room wants to be part of the sustainable and social transition in this world? That's what I thought so already. But did you know that to get there, 9 out of 10 innovations actually fail? And we cannot afford that to happen, actually. So, and most of the times, the innovations fail because they don't get properly tested. And this is where a lot of time, energy, and even worse, money gets wasted. And indeed, we cannot afford that. My name is Tom van Wijk, and I'm moderating this panel. And the next hour, we're going to talk about the startup in the Netherlands and startups in Germany, and the ecosystems in place at festivals to implement those ideas, actually. And most importantly, how these innovations put the ideas into practice and how festivals can be elevated as living labs to do so. So, in this conversation, we're going to focus on prototyping, pilot projects, and key factors that enable the leap from idea to implementation, and that can be quite a leap, actually. So together we're going to explore similarities, differences, and inspiring best practices, because they have a lot to tell about it, within both startup ecosystems. But first I want to introduce our amazing panelists. We're lucky that we have such amazing, true veterans and pioneers in the innovation ecosystem who already put a lot of time and effort and expertise to push the much needed transition forward, actually. So I'd like to start with Miriam Schmitt on my far left and for you on the right.
Oh, sorry.
She's a dedicated and much experienced professional at the intersections of festival, event, science, and performance, and project manager at the Superbloom Festival in Munich, being responsible for experience area with Superbrain, which you're going to talk a lot more later on, and that it's an area that's dedicated to science and technology, which is much important, and innovation. And next to that, you manage the Green Keys at Lollapalooza Berlin, which focus on sustainability and social engagement. And last but not least, she holds a degree in Chinese studies. Who else has a degree in Chinese studies? No, so really special. So welcome, Miriam.
Thank you.
Next to Miriam, we have Marcus. And Marcus is over 50 years already involved in festivals and organized in the Netherlands by the Feestfabriek. And in various roles, including being the director, just appointed a month ago, of Zwarte Cross, which is one of the largest festivals in Holland, with, I kid you not, 277,000 visitors over the weekend. So it's quite special. And as also a special focus on the logical footprint of the Feestfabriek, the overall company was also promoting Zwarte Cross and addressing different other sustainability projects relating on topics such as nitrogen issues, which is a very big topic in Holland, and the Water Framework Directive. So welcome, Marcus.
Thank you, Tom.
And last but not least, Jule. Jule is a Berlin-based project and sustainability manager with extensive experience in the cultural and event industries. And you lead the sustainable initiatives at Loft Concerts and also being the Senior Director Event Realization of Good Life at Good Life, and leading teams across project management, production and guest relationships for major festivals. And last but not least as well is one of the amazing projects you work on is Labor at Tempelhof. And you're going to share a lot of insights in that with us as well. So a warm welcome to all the panelists. Do you want to add something extra on your introduction?
No, I think you did it just fine. It's all good.
Perfect.
I feel myself represented.
Perfect. Marcus?
Thank you.
No. Namaste. No.
Jule, you want something to add to that? Okay. So I wanted to check who's in the room. Are there any event organizers in the room? All right. Maybe some startups. All right. And some government officials. People who work for public institutions.
Thank God, no government.
Investors maybe who want to invest in innovative projects. Some other role someone has in the ecosystem and want to share something about it? No? You can do that later on as well. So what we are going to talk today is about piloting, testing and validating. And so yeah, what is testing and validating actually? It's a journey within an entrepreneurial journey where you actually test your idea. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they think, I have a good idea, but you really have to test it, or else it can rapidly fail, as what I said. So, and this is also why Innofest exists. And so this was the introduction. So with Innofest, we help innovations to test their ideas at living labs, such as festivals, because we envision festivals as mini societies with the same challenge as the real world within waste, water, energy, and so forth. And you can get a lot of data. You can do technical tests, but also get a lot of feedback from user data as well. And at Innofest, we don't believe you need an old school lab to test your idea, actually. You need a real place, real people, and real settings, actually, to test, focused, and effective. And we do so for 10 years. And yeah, it's really important that you can have end users also as participants. And I can show you a little bit of a video as well to see how that actually works.
It's a better experience than a Dixie.
We only could collect urine from people with a penis, but we want to collect all the urine of a festival. So what we want to do is to make a device, unisex urinal, to collect all the urine of all gender to convert it to fertilizers.
Well, it's really convenient because you just stand up. You don't have to sit down on the toilet, so it feels very clean. Yeah, it's really easy. I like it.
Het leek ons eigenlijk wel fijn als er een soort audiotour afspeelt. Op het moment dat je binnenkomt, dat je eigenlijk al krijgt van... Oké, stap 1. Kies of je voor of achteruit op het urinoir wil zitten. Stap 2. Trek je broek naar beneden. Stap 3. Ontspan en plas. Ja, dat had ons wel geholpen op dat moment, denk ik.
Ja.
So it gives us a little bit of an idea of how in a festival yellow water actually got sanitized and could be also resources and used as a fertilizer. So what we see if people test within Innofest, that 85% has actually accelerated the technology readiness level, and 77% is still active after testing with Innofest, while 90% of innovations fail. And I'd say that is good because of Innofest, because they actually tested. And 40% raise money. So that could be very interesting for also the startups in this room to realize how much of value can be to actually have a practical test at the festival. So I would like to go to the state of play actually and invite Marcus to tell a bit about your project the Wijwater project at Zwarte Cross.
Yeah. Okay, so well, you see a picture here of the Zwarte Cross. It's a big festival, as Tom already pronounced, in the eastern of Holland. We can go to the next slide. Or you can give me the clicker if you want. So it's called Project Wijwater, Wasser in German. In Holland we say Wijwater because it's our water, but also Wijwater also relates to sacred water, like the baptism water when you're being born in the church, for example. Just to give water more like a holy status. And the why, because why did we start this project was mainly because of two big reasons. The first is the Framework Water Directive. Has anyone heard of the Framework Water Directive? Not yet? Ooh. It's EU legislation which is concentrated about water quality around the world, or in Europe actually. And in Holland that's going to be quite an issue. Just like nitrogen, that's all with all kinds of problems in the EU. That tends to be a problem in the Netherlands, and only in the Netherlands, because nitrogen is also not a problem in Germany, I believe. But Framework Water Directive might become an issue for us, because we have such a big festival that the peak of our wastewater is not being handled properly by the local water purification system. So in order to organize our festival in the future, we had to come up with solutions to to improve. And the second one is when we started working on this project in 2024, our next goal was actually going to be around climate adaptation. Because of drought seasons, less water being available during the show, but also high peaks of rain during show might cause real issues for us. So we came up with a solution to to be more how do you call it? Self-voorzienend in het Engels?
Self-sufficient, self-sustained. Yeah.
Self-sustained, okay, well. We started pumping up groundwater, purified it into drinking water ourselves to be not to rely on the water companies in the eastern of Holland. So we produced our own drinking water last year. Water ends up in the toilet like sewer water, and that's what we purified on site. And we got legislation, but also the process in place to discharge that locally in our festival terrain. So that will end up in the groundwater after the show. And then, well, as the video already showed us, we collected yellow water, like urine. We separately collected that. And that's for mainly two reasons. Because if you look at the local purification system, like you know what I mean? Like where the sewage water is being cleaned? Yeah. So the big issue there is urine. If you can collect urine from the regular sewer water stream, that decreases the issues on in the sewage. And the second reason is you can process urine and then extract nitrogen, like fertilizer from it. So that's like a circular way to grow crops on. So this is last year, and we are working on next year. It's a little bit of an... I'll explain the picture. It's quite simple, actually. So we pumped up the groundwater last year and then processed it into drinking water. But if the groundwater is on a low, is running low, we have a problem. So we came up with a solution with another company. The yellow balls are like liquid glass which we pump in the ground, and that hardens out, so you get this like a sort of a swimming pool in your festival terrain. And during the year, if it rains, the water can be held in this underground swimming pool, for example. So if it's drought and groundwater is running low, we can still pump up our own groundwater from our source and process it into drinking water. So that's I had 3 minutes, I guess, but...
We have time, we have time.
Are there questions? Is it clear, system, or not? Okay.
Yes, so I think it was quite a groundbreaking project in Holland. As I think it's the first time that actually a festival was allowed to pump up groundwater and sanitize and purify it actually to drinking water. So it's quite a big thing. So
Yeah,
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I think it doesn't really only address a challenge for you as a festival, as you actually need to do something also with the gray and yellow water, but also could be something bigger for wider society, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was the bigger goal. It's we as a festival are not the real issue, but this system could work in for example, the real world and really make an impact. If we can contain water in our fields, that's actually a good solution.
Yes. So I think maybe a lot of people in the world can get displaced or are displaced, maybe also in underserved countries that we see, and this might be. When they are in camps or whatever, this could be actually maybe a solution to get all these different innovations tied together and come up with a system like this. And maybe this was a proof of concept, and that you could private, public bodies can't.
Yeah, we really worked hard with local government to get the legislation and also to talk about scaling up in the real world. Yeah.
Let's talk about that later as well. How difficult it is to scale up, or what the barriers are, or what we are doing already. Thank you, Marcus. Amazing story. And Jule, you do amazing work with Labor Tempelhof. Would you like to explain how that works?
Yeah. First, I mean, that's pretty clear. Still, I want to ask, it's not me, but it's the whole team actually that organizes and goes through all the pain also. Labor Tempelhof is a sustainable, large-scale concert series that piloted in 2022. As it has a capacity of 60,000 of an audience, and for us, this term sustainability doesn't really bring it all to what we mean with sustainability, because Labor Tempelhof has the cradle-to-cradle, so circular economy in its core. That means that we in 22 started it, in 2024 we repeated it with the bands Die Ärzte and Die Toten Hosen, and we really looked at all processes, the whole entire production cycle, in order to really see what is already possible within the status quo that our industry, as well as, well, globally, so to say, or in Germany or Europe, what is the status quo that we actually can work with. And it was really cool because we integrated startups in the process, because that's a win-win scenario. We come to that later also. What you see here, we incorporated last year in the second edition the Funtor. That is a really cool machine that obviously makes more sense in the global south. But we wanted to show it because what it can do is that it filters drinking water from the air. So we incorporated it within our production and put the free drinking water station, one of our 6 free drinking water stations, in order to pull drinking water from the air, which is what I mean with sustainable solutions. It is obvious that this is something that we might not incorporate in our production, because we are urban, we are in Berlin, we do not necessarily at this point need a machine like this, but there is a win-win scenario where if you incorporate sustainable solutions, and that is for us Labor Tempelhof. Labor Tempelhof is not only a concert series with a band, something that we can enjoy. It is also a living lab, and that's, I think, why I have the privilege to represent the whole team here on stage, is because it is a living lab where future solutions can be incorporated, can be tested, which we benefit from, but the startups benefit from as well.
It's amazing. And what is this picture?
This is this is traceless. This is a fry fork that the team in 22, together with the public caterer, with GTB, as well as Traceless is the company, they invented a material. So the fork actually represents a thing that this material can do. They invented this material that can actually ersetzen. I just say in German, replace. Thank you. Replace plastic. So they, it's a natural material coming from waste from the Felder of our beautiful Agrarwirtschaft, and so they actually are working with a pure natural material that that is future-proof and can be a fry fork, but can be a plastic bag and can be, I don't know, something like this. So they actually were looking for a possibility to develop a product that can show this, and we together with many people in a collaboration invented this fry fork that in 22 was only a prototype that didn't make it to the concert, but then in 24 we had a number of them on site, and then it also made its way through a festival, a major festival. So it's something that really, that's what I mean with, it's a win-win scenario for startups as well as us event organizers.
So this is actually something that is scalable, that you already know, and you already did different kind of tests, different kind of iterations, and tested on multiple years and events and developed so you can...
Well, we only made 2 editions of Labor Tempelhof, so this was kind of the stage for this startup and this product. But what is so nice about the incorporation or collaboration together is that, of course, they take it from there. They meet the necessary people or organizations within the system that can make their product work, and then they go on a journey, obviously, and because it just makes sense. This kind of product makes sense if you see it as a material also that can be many things other than a fry fork.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see that in the next years in cafeterias as well, with bratwurst and
vegetarian.
So
bratwurst,
outside of the festival, into all the cafeterias.
Yeah, but also, as I said, this is just one example of what this material can do. The cool thing is it comes in kind of it comes exactly as producers would buy the little plastic thingies they make their stuff from, their products from. So they can actually just buy that and then put it in their machines and then actually just do the product with this instead of the plastic.
So it's quite also within the chain, actually, of the circularity. Yes. It already has its value.
Yes.
Can we say that?
And also Traceless, they started inventing it, they started testing it, they now opening up, I think in a few weeks, they open up their first production factory near Hamburg, and it's actually not about, as I said, not about the fork or the fry fork. It's about the material to really make a change and really get rid of toxic plastic.
And this is also in collaboration with the Cradle to Cradle network, as the NGO?
That's a whole collaboration. As I said, many peoples or many organizations are then together in this journey. It's them, it's Traceless, the company, it's the public caterer, GTB, that they also tested other materials like a pommes schale or a bowl. So they really try and in a way develop the products together.
Yes. So you see, actually, a festival here is the testing ground, but also to put a lot of time, effort in it, together with the NGO as a Credit to the Cradle, who is not only with festivals, and there's a real business case coming out of it as well, to scale it up.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing, actually. It's the right example for innovators and how your journey can be, actually. And maybe you need some time for some years, but you will get there, right?
Yes, some thankfully will get there, some don't.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And that's failing forward, and that's much needed as well. We can also tap on that a little bit later. And what are we looking at right now? Can you?
That is one of my favorite topics. That is a full cycle toilet. I actually wrote down we want to collect all the urine from the trailer. I love that. I love that claim. We collect with that. That's Finizio. That's a sanitation system that is so smart, and that is the future of festival sanitation, I think, because they already close the cycle, almost, because we collect we collect urine and the other stuff, and we actually recycle it, and they make a fertilizer out of both, and they bring it to the agricultural fields. Right now, this is only scientific. It's tested, and they already closed one of the testing phases, and they actually have proof, study proof that their fertilizer, which is 100% natural, also because it comes from us. It's really weird, if you once understood it, that we actually just flush all the good stuff down the toilet. And with Finizio we don't. We actually bring it back to the fields where it then can become nutritious again into our food, and then we eat it again, and then we. So that's that is the best, and I'm making a little bit marketing for them, because I really believe that this is they develop it along the needs of festival or event organizers as well, because they have a new generation now where it's actually smaller than like the usual or conventional mobile cabin, as well as that it's only one part of the story, but they can actually get 700 of those new generation on one trailer. So it's just this product, if you really dig deep in it, it makes so much sense, and it's something that I truly believe that in a future, a sustainable future, we will only be seeing these, and hopefully also other providers than Finizio, because it just makes sense.
So it's an open call to all other festivals. Look at this one. This is only collecting with people with a penis, or
no?
Also, so
also the other half of our globe.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So it has some similarities with previous innovation we saw in Holland as well. It's really nice to see. Maybe there could be a collaboration maybe in the future. And thank you. Amazing work. I wanted to go over to Miriam. You were just talking about science. And you actually implement a lot of science into your work as well on the festival. Please tell us
actually,
about it.
This is what you see here is the Olympic Stadium in Munich, and there's happening since 4 years now, the Superbloom Festival. Thank you so much. And like many festivals, also we have experience areas, like sustainability areas, design areas. So at Superbloom, we wanted to have a technology and science area, which is called the Superbrain area, which I'm taking care of actually. And here you see in the picture our robot workshop. That is something we do, and there are festival audiences can build these elephants and giraffes you see in the back, so they are real-life festival robots. And for this panel, because we are talking about how startups can enter festivals actually, I want to talk about a cooperation that we had since year one with the Technical University and the Venture Labs. They are basically focusing on supporting startups and the founding process out of university into the real life. And they bring 10 to 12 startups every year, and they apply actually, and then they present their prototypes and can test them on real life audiences, as you said so nicely, and get real life feedback on their communication skills as well. And that is something that we like to do. And just to give you an idea how we promote the open call for Superbrain, I would like to show you a video now. That is our, Yeah, this was for this year, and everyone can apply actually, startups, universities, scientists themselves, so it's open to everyone. But let's talk about startups today.
Yeah, so I think you are focused now also on scientists, applied research, I guess. You also work with just SMEs, and you as well, or do you also work with applied science or research? Or do you see any differences, or is it already in the collaboration?
I think there's different approaches. In the end, I think the good stuff comes from where you really dig into, well, let's put it this way. There is solutions that, or there's challenges or problems that we have to solve. And it is, it makes so much sense to go into collaboration with innovators, because we do not have to solve all these problems alone. Everything is out there, or someone already has thought about it. So we, for a different project next year, we try to cooperate, work together with the university. So yes, academic approach, but we are more, let's say, hands-on the getting innovators and startups in that sense, really integrated and give them really a testing field, like a living lab, because that's also something that is missing sometimes.
Yeah. Good. So I want to talk a little bit of the drivers. Marcus, why would you even open up your event to innovative startups of innovations? I mean, it's already a lot of work to put up a festival, selling tickets, selling drinks, creating an amazing atmosphere.
I just wanted to go to Berlin. No.
That's a very good reason.
No, I think that the question actually is, why shouldn't you do it? I think it's a real. We organize festivals, and it's a real chance, opportunity to temporarily test innovations. So when we first started working with Innofest, and I saw your proposal, I thought, well, why shouldn't we do this? There actually isn't a reason I can think of to not go work together with each other.
But you're busy as a festival maker, so it gives extra work, or?
Yeah, that's true, of course. But in the end, you also have to think about what's your impact with your festival on climate, for example, and what opportunities can you come up with to, well, start making a change together. And actually, it is also even quite cool, of course, if you can start working out things that actually really make sense on the long term. So I think it's beneficial for everyone involved.
Good. And how's that
Even
for
when
you?
it fails, actually.
Sorry?
Even when it's a failure,
Yes.
that's also learning.
Definitely.
Yeah, I wanted to add something because, I mean, like we have, I think, two main drivers, and the one goes for everybody is that we have issues that we have to solve because we have like a crisis that is happening right now. The planet is overheating. We might not see it here in Europe as bad as in other parts of the regions. We already have the problem. We are in this. So there's actually the need to find solutions that are future-proof because resource scarcity will be our problem, and that is a problem of a festival, of us, of organizers, as well as society. So we have the need for solutions, and so opening up to solution drivers or innovations that can help us, and we can kind of give them a stage to actually test it and get better, and then bring those solutions not only within the festival cosmos, so to say, but really bring it out where, you said it before, bring it to society. These are solutions that we actually need for our festivals as well as in society. So the main driver for us is the crisis we are in, plus we need solutions.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have the great audience there, and it's like they are there to enjoy themselves, but also very interested. That is something that we recognize at Superbloom. They are not shy to interact with technology or with innovation and give their feedback, and they stay long in the Superbrain area and talk to people. So it's not that you switch off your head once you enter festival premises, right? So I think it's really important that we try to get innovations on the festival grounds and then maybe get something out of it. That's the best thing, of course, in the end, yes.
So, and what kind of value do you bring to the academic and applied researchers at your festival? So, is it just a conversation going on with end users?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, please.
It is mostly the platform, of course. We have a lot of people. Superbloom has 60,000 people on the grounds every day. So, but they are not all at Superbrain, of course. I wish. But most of them, last year we had a cooperation, they were trying out a test bed somehow. Does it bring something to us? Does it have a benefit to come? And they were really excited about the amount of people. It was, I think, 2,500 counted qualitatively high, like good interactions, which was for them, I don't know.
How many? Can you repeat the number?
2,500. In 2 days, which is for
a lot.
Really a lot, and they were very excited about it. Yeah, and then, for the startups I mentioned, they really collect data, right? So they interact with them. One had like this app where they needed data of health, and then people had to do sports, and they were so excited. After 1 hour, in the first year, actually, you were there also. After the first hour, they came to me, we have more data now than we had in the 2 years at university. So thank you for inviting us. So that is something that we really offer. And then also they can test if their story is good and if they have a good team for communicating. I think that's basically it. And then what I do sometimes is that I make sure that they have a good story up front. So I ask them, what is the benefit when I'm coming to your booth? What can I experience as an audience member? What can I learn? What can I try out or something? So it has to be fun, of course. You're there to be entertained. But I think that's basically what the outcome, the plus is to participate.
Yeah, so you even guide them to actually set up a proper test as well.
Sorry again.
So you guide them as well to set up a proper test.
Yes.
Help them to set up the test.
Yes, not everyone needs that because especially startups tend to have a lot of coaching for communication, but especially scientists and universities, they sometimes have such complex topics that they just lose the focus of what is my story, and there I'm supporting. If they need it, if they don't need it, it's fine with me. Yeah.
So what is success for you after an innovator has tested with you?
So to be very honest, I'm a freelancer, so my first success is, did the audience enjoy it? That's why I'm taking care of the storyline sometimes. Then did the exhibitor like it? Did they get an outcome? And then maybe as a plus, because we're talking about how can we get something out of the cooperation, I want to show a picture. Maybe you can, are we already there? Yes. It is something that I had a different area when I was first at Superbloom. The first 2 years I had an area where it was very sunny. So I was looking for someone who could bring some shade and maybe present it in a nice way. And I found it at Frankfurt University, actually. They have an architecture degree, and there I found them because they had a solar sail at Documenta, which is in Kassel, basically an art fair. And they produced electricity with their solar sail. So I contacted them, and the professor was very nice, and I asked them, could you invent something for me, because I really don't have any trees or anything. And then now, this year, it was implemented, not with me, but with my colleague Anne Hegner. And it was in perfect hands because she has studied architecture, so she could really take care of it, more than I could have probably. And this is the outcome. It's the solar, I forgot what they called it, sorry, solar loops. And it's basically solar sails, very thin material. And it's giving shade and also producing, you can see it in the picture, electricity. And we had like these ventilators underneath, or she had actually, and it was producing some wind. And now, because she's very smart, we can implement it every year, which is a really good outcome. And I think that is something we should aim for. It's not what you can achieve every time, but it's good if we can, right? And I think you're doing that already more than I am, but...
So it's implemented at the festival.
And
it's a piece of art.
It's a piece of art. It's producing electricity out of the sun, and it's giving shade in an area where there's no shade at all.
No,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you probably can also use that at outside of the festival as well. Could be in public spaces, maybe, to power up, for example, in the city park.
Exactly. They are working, and they have it on their homepage, actually. And it's a prototype for them, of course, and they want to work further on it. So, yeah. I think that was a good outcome for all of us.
Yes, amazing. And what do you think, Marcus? What is needed, actually, also from your side in the Netherlands to scale up, actually? Because this is just implemented at the festival. You had some implementation of your water project. Is that something already what can be scaled? Because the project was also a lot of solutions together as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think what is needed is, well, and not only within our water project, but it's the vision on the long term, and not only at festivals, because I don't believe that festivals are the real issue. Of course, we are a big festival, but
they have the footprint, right? Festival, yes.
Yeah, of course, we have the footprint, but the footprint of a festival is never that big as the real outside world. So for me, success would be, and also if I would look to the future, to scale it up in the real world. So it shouldn't be only a solution for us as a festival, but also on something what year-round contributes to climate change or a better world on the long term.
What is needed from the ecosystem?
Yeah, I think the connection with government is really essential to bring it to the next level, and also with entrepreneurs and other, how do you call it, fields of work like building companies, city thinkers, designers, architects, whatever. I think that in the temporary setting as a festival, you really can test things for a short period of time, and then think about, okay, what's going well and what should be better, and then implement it in something which really is in place for 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah. And what was the role of the local government actually to help you to be able to dump the water actually again back at the festival fields, or help you, or make it maybe difficult to purify groundwater into drinking water? Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, that was quite challenging, because it differs in what person is handling your permit, for example. And I really invested time to get them alongside our plan and get them involved. And once they saw what we were aiming for, that really changed their mind about, okay, they started working with us to say, okay, this is not possible, but if you do it in that way, we might actually have a good shot on giving you this permit. So it was really like, not like the organizer is asking for a permit, it was more like, okay, how can we fix this together? And that was, well, I think the best outcome of the whole project, maybe.
So they became a partner, actually?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how is that, did you have any experience with that as well, that the municipality of local government is a partner, or is it making more difficult at labor?
I think it goes both ways in a way, because from our experience in this, what we are talking about right now regarding like being a living lab or test startups and test out products, we found out together with the innovators or with the startups that there's a limit actually, but we kind of do not stop there because we don't accept the limit. That, for example, Finizio as the sanitation mobile sanitation system, they actually. They are working on this, having this as a fertilizer, as I said before, and bring it out on the fields. And they actually, their product is actually also the fertilizer in a way. They cannot sell it because the Düngemittelverordnung, so the fertilizer regulation in Germany, doesn't allow it that human species, I don't know what the word
Human
is.
waste, human waste, yeah.
I don't call it waste, nutrients, can go back to the fields. That's something that we found out. They work on that, and we try to help them because we have this shared collaboration, shared experience. And whenever they ask us to be present somewhere and call someone, if that's in our power, we try to also multiply the pressure there, because then there's a real system change. And that's what I mean with there's limits, but we find out that there's limits because we test it, and then we can actually do something about it and not stop there. So it goes both ways. Obviously, politics, governmental or regulations, all that is necessary, required, important, but it, from my really personal opinion, it needs an update, and it needs an update to the challenges we are up upon, and so we really try to push those boundaries. Not only find out about them, and then here you go, but really find out about it and then do something about it.
Unfortunately, there are no government officials in the room today, so they don't hear it. But I think it's going to be recorded, so we can still do a shout out to them. But at your end, it worked at the end, right? You were ahead of regulations, both of you?
Yeah, and I think that someone within the group from the governmental part actually said, if there already was legislation for this solution, then it might never be an innovation, right? If you test new things, regulation is also running behind. So, well.
Yeah, but also speaking about another example, the Breminale Festival in Bremen, they had the reusable system from the get-go. And they, in a way, really thought about the regulations that them, as an open space festival, held them back. And then and I hope I don't represent it wrong, but check it out, because what they really kind of achieved then was a change with regards to reusability or reusable systems within the whole city of Bremen. So that is really something where you can change something, even if you're just a festival, and that is what it really has. Is the impact. It doesn't stay within us. If you really truly collaborate with each other, whoever that is, then not only is the weight lighter, but also the potential bigger, and real change can happen also in society.
Yes. And have you experienced that as well, that some academic research or wanted to implement at your festival they applied for, that you couldn't able to actually give them a spot at the festival because it was not able to get a proper license or permit to work with them? Or was it quite easy?
No, I have not actually.
Oh.
What is, of course, something that you have to follow the regulations. So this year I was having one startup that is cleaning water, like muddy water in areas of crisis, like when earthquakes happen or something, and I wanted to have a twist. I have this lake in front of me, and it's muddy, and there are weirdly big fish in it, and I invited them to clear the water, and what do you do then with it, yeah? So you have to be within the permits, of course. You have to talk to the festival and get some permissions to really use the water. We used it as a dust then to cool down the area, but I didn't dare let people drink the water even though it was possible. But yeah, also the dust has to be drinking water, but to give it to people is, yeah. But no, I have not experienced that. Yeah. Someone wasn't allowed to come or something. Yeah, so water is actually quite a topic, so to hear, everyone's events. And do you have another example that you have seen that an innovation was successful in testing but had some problems to scale up in the end?
I have a side example actually, is that we incorporated in both editions a full cycle beer, so from a full cycle beer Knertje, and they made they brewed the beer from food waste, from bread, and that it actually tasted really good, and they also had an alcohol-free version, and so they scaled up from 22 to 24. But then, and they also said, we had a talk with them, what would you need to scale up within the industry, within the festival industry? And they said, our product is really interesting, and there are organizers interested. We are talking to them. But their contracts, sponsorship contracts, beer is really complicated, we all know. They are set for many, many years with a beer sponsor, and there's no way in. I have the product. I can actually, I can provide, I think, six major festivals, he said. Within the next season, I could provide beer to 6 major festivals, but, and they are interested. The festival directors, for example, are interested. We have a good product, but within the sponsorship deals that are made yearly, we have no way in, and they actually failed. They had to, they went bankrupt, and they had to end it. And so this is also part of the story. Not everyone makes it, unfortunately.
So this is an example. There's a proof of concept that you can brew a beer which is full cycle, circular, making a better impact. And then due to how the ecosystem within the festivals is actually organized, it's impossible to get a business out of it. And that is actually quite odd actually, and that's maybe a sign like how do we want to have our own ecosystem within the festivals in place to be open to scale up these innovations, actually, right?
Yeah, and also there's no black and white. We tend to kind of not find the gray areas. We kind of have it black or white incorporation, no incorporation, but there's many, many more colors to the palette, so to say. So I think the effort also to, you asked earlier, what does it take, kind of that. And I think it's really the will of everyone in a way, no? To participate, to collaborate, to truly make the system, the own system, the festival, also more efficient. It's not only that we want to make it more sustainable, but we want to have it more resilient, have it also more efficient, and also economically create a value. So there's so much potential there to really grab it and take it from there. I think that takes will, but everything's there.
Yeah. So if I resume, actually, everyone within the testing ecosystem learns about with it. So it's not only for the innovations and the innovators, but also the ones who implemented, the governments, people who are regulating, but also from inside out, actually. And if you start testing how, if it's successful, how can we make sure already that we can implement it afterwards? Because or else it's also, we're again, a waste of time and energy actually within the system. So it's a learning loop for everyone and failing forward in that sense. And prepare, because I'm gonna give room also for some questions for the panel in a few seconds. So prepare your questions, especially think if you have a startup. So I think we see a lot of similarities actually within the German and Dutch ecosystem, right?
Definitely.
We are EU,
Yes, exactly.
Europe.
And is there something actually, Marcus, you learned from the stories from Miriam and Jule, actually, from, hey, I didn't know that. This is something what we could learn from them.
Yeah, well, I'm really interested in some of the pictures, like the solar screen or the forks which you presented. Yeah, just so let's hang out later on and share some info. Yeah.
And Jule, what is the difference that you see actually?
I think there is none, really, because it's a process. We're all on different points, maybe, of the journey, but I think there is none. I mean, there surely are, but I think that there is no difference because, as I said before, we're all in this together, and collaboration is the key. I stole this from some other panel, but collaboration is the key, and that works country-wise as well as organization-wise as well as people-wise.
What might be different is legislation in Germany and legislation in Holland, which also is something like you got sustainability because you are motivated to do a sustainability journey, or you can be motivated by legislation, and I think it works in both ways. If the legislation in the Netherlands is totally different than in Germany, that might, well, make it difficult to work together. But your motivation is, I think, important, more important than legislation.
Miriam, anything to add to that?
I think it's great that we have this panel, actually. I was inspired even preparing for this. So, yeah, how can we make an outcome after the festival is something that we should talk about later, maybe. Yeah.
Nice. Are there any questions from the room? This is your moment, actually, to ask a question to one of the panelists. Don't be shy. I think the information was quite clear for everyone, actually. We talked too much?
No, not too much, but we talked so much. So
Yes. Everyone is processing, I guess.
We have said it all.
Exactly. Is there any advice of kind message you want to give to an audience or to?
I did mine already. Collaboration is the key.
I agree.
don't be shy communicating complex topics at festivals. And apply for Superbrain. I only know that you are a startup, so sorry. Apply for Superbrain.
Okay, yeah, and I would like to add on that, like, also, it's failing forward, right? And failing is also a perspective on success. And that is how we can get everything forward. And yeah, I would like to thank you for coming here and donating your time. And yes, and I invite everyone. We have the Dutch Pavilion just across, exhibit place 18, where there are 12 innovators from Holland who have tested at festivals. So if you want to be in conversation with them and how they learned and how they improved, or the amazing solutions they have for your event or festival, please walk by and yeah, maybe you can grab some beer or bubbles there as well and start collaborating. Thank you.